All right, you guys. We back with the fire. Isaiah Poole here. Dropping the. I think this is the third video today. Yeah. We got a scoop coming out of Breaking Point. Shout out to Crystal, and Miss Crystal and Slogger. Uh, Secret Service is getting slammed by the local cops over the failures of protecting Donald Trump. Let's see what they have to say.
Let's move on to the latest revelations with regard to the massive security failures that allowed this horrific attack on Donald Trump to go forward. Let's put this up on the screen. We're getting more details about failed communications on the day of. So the Trump Secret Service team is complaining that they were not told of suspicious person reports before the shooting. Now, this is a Washington Post report from Josh Dawsey and Carol Leonnig. Carol always has fantastic sources within the Secret Service. Right. You always want to read what she has to say with regard to at least their narrative of what's going on. The subhead here is members of the former president's Secret Service detail and his top advisors have said they were not informed of warnings that were circulating before shooting at the July 13th rally, according to people familiar with the concerns. So they go through the TikTok here. They talk about how approximately 20 to 25 minutes before Thomas Matthew Crooks shot at the former president, local counter snipers noticed him behaving strangely. They sent his photograph to a command center staffed by state troopers and Secret Service agents, the head of Pennsylvania State Police told a congressional committee Tuesday. Members of the Secret Service detail that protects Trump and was with him backstage have complained to confidants and others inside the agency. They were never made aware of that warning about a suspicious person, because remember, he was spotted with a rangefinder attempting to enter the premises. And they were never informed of that. And they were also never informed that the team on the ground there lost sight of him and did not know where he went. They said they were not aware local counter snipers lost track, or that another local officer hoisted up to the roof of a building just outside the rally site security perimeter saw Crooks perched there with a gun. This was also interesting to me. They say these type of communication breakdowns, because of the different radio frequencies that Secret Service teams use while working together and also technical failures, have figured into some of the agency's other significant security lapses. So I don't know if you guys remember this, but when a gunman began shooting at the White House on a night in November 2011, when President Barack Obama's daughter Sasha was at home with her grandma, an agent protecting Sasha did not know about the shooter for several minutes because the agent used a different radio frequency than officers and agents stationed at the White House, and no one had alerted him to the threat outside. That is crazy. And what's even crazier is that here we are well more than a decade later, and they're complaining, Sagar, here about the very same problem.
Yeah, what we learn is that this is an incompetent agency. It's basically been evident now for a decade plus. It took the most incompetent sniper attempted assassin of all time to basically just prove all of that in a single event that went wrong. And the fact is that we still don't have enough of an answer, because one of the things that we knew immediately was that this was not a single security failure. It was a confluence of terrible events.
Yes.
And what we're learning now is that all of the things that have been bubbling beneath the surface, the petition amongst agents saying that there was unprofessionalism, here we know about the decade-long problem with respect to communications. Now we see the Secret Service director who barely even wanted to resign. What we're seeing is that these institutions and agencies are almost more incompetent than you could have ever presumed. And that this is revealing, especially video and other we're about to show from the incident, that the closeness call of all of this, it's only a miracle that something like this didn't happen 5 years earlier.
That's true.
Or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, if this was a trained professional, it'd be over.
Yeah, game over.
This was a 20-year-old who got kicked off his high school rifle team because he was such a bad marksman. But to your point, Benny Johnson went to the location.
All right, guys. What do you guys how you guys feel about that? Like they said, this whole situation is crazy. Um this whole situation is crazy. The communication failures, uh, you know, and honestly, it seems kind of suspect from the jump, you know what I mean? You can't help to think some other things, nefarious was going on. Because it's always one of these situations where like some political figures, controversial, somebody makes assassination attempt, like some random person, one day wakes up having a good life or midlife. They just wake up one day and just want to do some assassination attempts. The next thing you know, the Secret Service has to kill those guys, and then you never hear from them again. So you can't help to think that things are nefarious going on, because people are losing trust within the government and stuff, etc. Uh, you know, and everything, the rampant corruption, so I'm not pushing conspiracy, but yeah, everything is just suspect about that whole situation. But like I said, Trump he ended up the winner of that scenario. Uh, but do the do you feel like the cops have uh the moral high ground in slamming the Secret Service? Because there was a guy that was on the news. If I had the video footage of this guy, you probably seen his face on those other videos. He was like, he was that guy that said he was standing right next to the barn, pointing at the guy, and he's looking at the Secret Service guy, and he's standing there, and he's pointing at the guy. That guy I'm talking about. Uh, you know, uh, do you feel like the police, they had knowledge of the shooter beforehand? So do you feel like they have the moral high ground, or should they get slam dunked on too? Should they get burned on? Should we hold their feet to the fire? Uh, Tell me your thoughts and opinions down below. It's if you're new to the channel, go ahead and like, share, comment, and subscribe if you want more videos like these. All right, we're gonna be on to the next video. Peace out, guys.